Good evening, and welcome to the Klamath Center for Education and Training 2026 GED Commencement Ceremony. My name is Erin Shimoniak, and I'm the director of the K-CET program. I have a couple of brief announcements before we get started. KCC Marketing will be taking photos as our graduates cross the stage. They're going to be set up right in the aisle, so please make sure that you don't step in front of them. They'll have digital copies of the photos available in the next week or so. Audience, upon closing, if you could please wait until all of the graduates exit the building before leaving, that would be great. And then also please join us out front for refreshments. On behalf of the K-CET team, I would like to extend a special thank you to the Klamath Community College Board of Trustees and the Foundation Board for their continued dedication to creating opportunities in our community. Please also join me with a warm welcome and thank you to our distinguished guests, Vice President of External Affairs, Lucas Ritter, for the graduate address, and perhaps our greatest supporter and tonight's keynote speaker, KCC President, Dr. Roberto Gutierrez. Now please rise and face the flag for the national anthem presented by Miss Sierra Cascade, Alyssa DeFilippo.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, we're so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Alyssa. That was beautiful. Good evening, and thank you to our faculty, families, and friends for joining us tonight to celebrate our graduates. Graduates, this moment represents more than the completion of a goal. You've earned your GED, but even more importantly, you have proven to yourselves that you are capable and that you know how to stay the course, even when the path is difficult or uncertain. At K-CET, we often talk about progress, academic progress, measurable gains, and working toward your goals step by step. But what brought you here goes beyond academics. It required personal growth and resilience. It required showing up again and again, even when you were tired or unsure of yourselves. And while you share this accomplishment with one another, your paths here were not the same. Our graduates come to us from many different backgrounds. Some of you were homeschooled. For many, your education was interrupted for reasons beyond your control, like illness, frequent moves, loss of loved ones, or other significant challenges. For others, the reasons may have felt smaller at the time, but still meaningful enough to change your direction. Whatever your story, returning to school and staying with it took courage. It meant choosing to believe that you belonged, and maybe for the first time in a long time, that continuing your education was still possible. And along your different paths, you carried a lot. Take a moment to think about everything that you balanced along the way. It may have been fear of the unknown or test anxiety. It may have been worrying about housing or feeding your family, working full-time jobs, raising children, or managing other responsibilities that don't just pause because you have a test coming up. Many of you learned how to study in the small, quiet moments. For some, it was in your car or when kids were sleeping, or in between loads of laundry and washing the dishes. School became a priority, and you learned how to manage your time in a way that worked for your life. That kind of determination is admirable. It matters because now you have experienced the results of your efforts, and your success will be something that you carry forward with you. In addition to that growth, this achievement also changes what is possible for you moving forward. Earning your GED increases your earning potential on average by $10,000 a year. But its value goes far beyond that. It opens doors to financial aid, trade programs, military service, and college degrees. It gives you access to opportunities that help you to continue building the future that you want. Many of you have already taken that next step. Some of this year's graduates have entered the military. One individual set a clear goal to earn their GED before reaching the age limit to enlist. They stayed focused, put in the work, and made it happen just in time to move forward. Some of you are pursuing careers in healthcare, business, the trades, or technology. Others are beginning college this fall. And one of you earned a GED earlier this year and was honored last Friday for also earning an associate's degree. Kevin Riley, I think that's pretty amazing. Try not to get more tears. These accomplishments speak clearly to your determination and your grit. So if you're feeling uncertain about what comes next, hold on to that courage and the commitment that brought you here. Forward momentum doesn't come from having everything figured out. It comes from continuing one step at a time. So regardless of what comes next for you, remember that this is not the finish line, it's just another starting point. I'd like to take a moment to reflect just briefly on what this work and what each of you means to me and to all of us at K-CET. This is my final year at Klamath Community College and my last year as director. And I can say without hesitation that this has been the most meaningful work that I could have hoped for in my life. Our team, our partners, and everyone who supports this program, we show up every day because we believe in our students. We show up because we've seen what happens when someone is given the opportunity to move forward and chooses to take it. When we see you succeed, it truly warms our hearts and confirms to us that we are in the right place. We're proud of you in a way that is hard to fully put into words. And when we hear your stories, the challenges you've faced, the barriers you've overcome, we are in awe of your strength and your willingness to change the direction of your lives. There have been many times when a conversation with a student has stayed with me long after they've left my office or we've hung up the phone. These moments are moments that remind me just how much courage it takes to keep going. KCC has given me the opportunity to grow both personally and professionally. My team has shown me what true teamwork looks like. And our students, all of you have reminded me what it means to be human. You've reminded me of how important it is to lead with empathy and compassion, and with the understanding that we never fully know the path that someone else has taken. So while tonight is 100% about celebrating you, please know that you have changed me, and I will carry that with me long after my time at KCC. Now, as I wrap up, and before we hear some important messages from our Vice President and our President, I'd like to share one last thing, and it's something that we see often here at K-CET. Every year, there's a student who walks through our doors unsure if they belong. Someone who maybe has been out of school for a long time, who's balancing work, family, and everything else that life brings. At first, they move carefully, sometimes quietly, not sure if they can really do this. But over time, something shifts. They begin to show up more confidently. They take ownership of their learning. They pass one test and another, and then eventually they walk across this stage, not just with a GED, but with a belief in themselves that wasn't there before. Tonight, that story belongs to each of you, because no matter how different your paths were, you all made the same powerful choice to keep going. Graduates, celebrate this moment. You earned it. And wherever your path leads you from here, you know now that you have what it takes to keep that forward momentum going. Every person in this room is here because we believe in you and we're proud of you. Please help me congratulate the class of 2026. Next, we will view a short video that shows some inspirational student spotlights from some of this year's graduates.
I feel that now was the right time to start the process of getting my GED because I moved from California here to Oregon in search of a better life.
What made me feel like now was the right time to work on my GED was my son's in high school and I didn't understand his homework. So I figured I'd brush up on my skills so I'd be able to help him.
I felt like now was just right for getting my GED because I have very sporadic learning processes. It's really hard for me to focus most of the time. So whenever I can, it's like I have to do it then.
I really just felt like I needed to do something with my life. I dropped out of high school before I even got to high school. I just figured I needed to turn over a new leaf and kind of start a life for myself.
That moment when I felt deep inside that I'm like, that fear is gone and I think I can just accomplish this to 100% was when I finished that math test. When I took that final exam and I got a good score, I kind of surprised myself. I said, it's not that hard and I can do it and I will do it.
The moment the light went off for me was when I was doing the science tests and stuff. I got like a 172 on it, and that was like, oh, I actually retained the information from high school. I feel very capable now.
When I passed 3 exams in 1 month. I took my science, history, and English all in 1 month.
I realized that I was like able to actually accomplish getting my GED around like, I'd say like 2-3 months in.
I'm very impressed. The more that I start to meet everybody and see what the school has to offer, I get blown away.
I'd most likely tell them that the people here are really friendly, they're really open, always willing to help.
If I could like tell anyone anything about the program, I would probably say that it is probably one of the best places to be in Klamath.
I would definitely recommend anybody that I know to come here. Actually, I've referred 3 of my friends, and 2 of them are on the online class right now to get their GEDs, and they were hesitant at first. They're like, oh, I don't know, you know, it's not gonna be something I wanna do, but once they got here and they got familiar with everybody, they were like, oh, it's great.
Now, please help me to welcome Vice President of External Affairs, Lucas Ritter, for the graduate address.
Thank you, Erin, for that. Good evening, everyone. Thank you again for attending this special event. To the graduates, congratulations on this momentous occasion. We are all here tonight because of you and to celebrate your tremendous accomplishment. To the family members, friends, instructors, and supporters gathered here, thank you also. Your encouragement, patience, and belief played a role in every one of these success stories. This moment belongs to you as well. Today is a celebration, but it's more than that. Like Erin said, it's proof. It's proof that it's never too late to change your story. Tonight, I would like to echo Erin's comments about and talk to you just for a minute about courage. Not that I'm a particularly courageous person, but I know courage when I see it. Merriam-Webster's dictionary defines courage as the mental or moral strength to venture, persevere, and withstand danger, fear, or difficulty. Now, most of the time when we hear of courage, we think of big visible moments, battlefield feats, first responders, athletes under pressure. But tonight I want to be very clear. What you have done requires just as much courage as those big visible feats. Because your courage didn't happen all at once. It happened in the quiet daily decisions. It took courage to walk back into the classroom after a time away and say, I'm not finished. It took courage to ask questions you weren't sure that you had the answers to. I'll share briefly from my own experience of that type of courage. In 2001, I found myself out of work. I was newly married, and 8 days after I was out of work, my wife told me that she was pregnant with her first child. Boy, that got me motivated. I applied for every job I could find, from high-rise window washing jobs, to limo driving jobs, to marketing jobs. But you know what? No one would hire me. So I did the only thing that I knew how to do. I applied for the Air Force. 6 months after that, I left my wife, who was 6 months pregnant, and I found myself being yelled at by an Air Force drill instructor. To say I was scared was an understatement. That first night, that first morning, I had no idea what I had signed up for. I was clueless about the military, and I can't even march. I have no rhythm. And all my flight mates hated being in formation next to me because I kept stepping on their heels. But my fear wasn't being yelled at or marching in formation, although that is part of it. My fear wasn't the physical activities, the early morning PT sessions, the obstacle courses. No, my biggest fear was probably your biggest fear, failing. Because it wasn't just failing myself or failing the Air Force, it was failing my family. And I kept that in mind, and I had to press on, which is what I'm sure you had to do. But what I learned in that season is something I see reflected in all of you here tonight. Courage isn't about having everything figured out, as Aaron just said. It's about showing up anyhow, not knowing where to begin. It's about being willing to learn, to try, to make progress one step at a time. And over time, that willingness to keep showing up makes all the difference. It took courage to face fears or anxieties about whether you belonged here at KCC. It took courage to juggle responsibilities, jobs, children, bills, and still find the time and energy to keep going. And maybe most importantly, it took courage to believe that you are worth the effort. Tonight, we are not celebrating just a credential. We are celebrating resilience, persistence, and determination. And as I look through the Klamath Basin, I think the Klamath Basin needs more people like you, people who are willing to grow, to push forward, and to build something better for themselves and for this community. Your accomplishment does not go unnoticed. And to those of you who are parents, your achievement is even more powerful. Your children watched you do this. They saw what it looks like to show up even when times are hard. You didn't just earn a GED, you became an example to those around you. What you have earned tonight is more than a certificate. Like Aaron said, it is momentum. This is not the end of your story, it's the beginning of a new chapter. And whatever your next steps are, whether it be college, career advancement, certifications, or something entirely new, just remember this: you have already proven that you can do hard things. And once you know that about yourself, it changes everything. When challenges come, and they will, you can look back at this moment tonight and say, I've done something difficult before, I can do it again. As the pomp and circumstance of tonight fades and life moves on, carry this moment with you tonight. Take pride in how far you've come, but don't lose sight of how far you can go, because your story is still being written. In closing, I'll leave you with this quote from John Wayne: "Courage is being scared to death and saddling up anyway." If that definition is true, then this room is filled with courageous people. Be proud of that, because your future is bright and it is yours to shape. Graduates, good luck and Godspeed. Thank you. Now, it is my honor to introduce this evening's keynote speaker, President of Klamath Community College, Dr. Roberto Gutierrez. Dr. Gutierrez has served as the president of KCC since July 2012, making him the institution's longest tenured leader. He was selected as the college's fourth president by the KCC Board of Education and has guided the college through expanded academic programs, strengthened community partnerships, and initiatives focused on student success and access. Under his leadership, KCC has emphasized creating a culture of college attendance in the region and expanding opportunities for underserved learners. Dr. Gutierrez is known for championing workforce-aligned education and expanding KCC's role in the community, including advocacy for new bachelor's degrees and enhanced student supports. He regularly highlights the role of higher education in socioeconomic mobility and community development. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome KCC President, Dr. Roberto Gutierrez.
Thank you, Vice President Lucas. Well, good evening. It seems like it wasn't that long ago that I was where you're at today. Now, you may be looking at this and saying, okay, my goodness, that cannot happen. It can happen because I'm a model of that. I was a GED student, and I won't forget that. Now, there's not too many presidents that have that, but I'm very proud to say at Columbia Basin Community College in the state of Washington, I got my GED. I won't say how long ago, but I will never forget that because that was the stepping stone for other things. And yes, I got them other degrees, but this one is the one that put me forward. So graduates, I'm glad to be here and experience your enthusiasm, your joy, and all that calls for such an occasion as that graduation. It brings families, communities, and educators together. This great achievement required, and we're going to talk about courage too, discipline, commitment, and courage. The discipline to go to class day, especially after a hard day's work, or maybe just having a bad day. The commitment to complete the required homework when there were other things that you could have done or wanted to do instead of studying or completing assignments. And the courage to take the next step to acquire the necessary education to enable you to move forward with your personal and professional goals. All of these characteristics have empowered everyone in this GED program, and on this evening, we celebrate your accomplishments. Students, please stand and face the audience. The audience. Audience members, please stand and let's acknowledge the graduates with an applause. Please stand. Let's acknowledge them. Thank you. You may be seated. Graduates, this occasion also provides an opportunity for me to share information with you that will enhance your understanding and equip you with facts needed to succeed in today's employment and occupational society. The latest U.S. Department of Labor statistics show that 70% of all new, this is important, middle-class jobs, middle class, will require some kind of trade or college education. The other 30%, well, those are minimum wage jobs, or as some would say, poverty wages. Now, if one is single, it's maybe okay, but on those wages, it's very difficult to raise a family. Additionally, research shows that the number one cause of failed marriages is finances. So you can see when you're making that amount of money, which is not very much, it puts strain on a marriage. That's why it's the number one cause of divorces. And then there's a split up family. That means you're gonna have two homes. And then it becomes even worse. There's a strain on that. So there's mental health issues. As you can see, you are going to need some kind of technical trade or college education to earn a good living and be part of a strong middle class. Your upcoming decision whether to move on to college or not would be one of the most significant decisions in your life. I know it was for me. Education after your GED does not necessarily mean a doctorate, master's, or even a bachelor's degree. An associate's degree, college certificate, technical trade will get you there too on the middle class salary. I'm just gonna mention some of them that we have here at the college, and there'll be too much time to go through all of them. So accounting, cosmetology, dental hygienist, paralegal, police officer, registered nurse, pharmacy tech, nurse assistant, certified auto tech, commercial driver's license, firefighter, certified teacher, early childhood education, airline pilot, we have the aviation program here too, digital media, or some of the trades, such as electrician, plumber, pipe fitter, well driller, welder, and we have many others here. Matter of fact, some of these trades make more money than bachelor's degrees. Just look it up. And we have our apprenticeship center. So sometime, maybe you already done it, go take a tour of that. Or again, you can take the associates and transfer to OIT or other places, other universities. Learning these technical skills to earn a living is a very good thing. However, we are also going to learn the following things in college. This is very important. This is a well-rounded person. You're gonna learn that in college. How to write better, key. How to compile your thoughts and present them, a good speaker. And also how to learn, very important. First, and I'm gonna give an example of myself. First, when I began to write, I realized that my thoughts were usually a jumbled, half-baked, incoherent impulses, such as strung together with gaping logical holes between them. I definitely improved my writing in college. So whether a teacher, a business executive, a marketing consultant, or a college president, writing forces you to make choices and it brings clarity and order to your ideas. Whatever you do in life, the ability to write clearly, cleanly, and I would add quickly, will prove to be a priceless, lifelong gift to you. Second, in college, you are going to be taught how to speak and express your thoughts. An important part of your grade in many college courses is discussion groups or presentations. Your professors are going to judge you on the process of verbally thinking through the subject matter and presenting your research, analysis, and conclusion. See, without those three things, all we have is an opinion, and everybody's got one of those. Speaking clearly and concisely is a big advantage in life. And finally, the strength of a comprehensive college education is that it teaches you how to learn, which includes reading in a variety of subjects, ascertaining data, analyzing information, and deriving intelligent decisions. Whatever career-specific technical skill that you will learn in any vocation, whatever it is, will change. That's why you gotta learn how to learn. And given the pace of change in transforming industries and profession these days, you will need the skill of learning throughout your professional career. Therefore, my challenge for you today is to continue your education. I firmly believe in the power of education. I share briefly what is done in my life, what is done to my family. I firmly believe in so much of that I will make the following guarantee. Please pay attention. This is very important, what I'm about to tell you. One, if you apply, you will be automatically accepted at KCC. No meeting with committees like you do in some universities, somebody makes a decision and you will be automatically admitted. Two, very important, we will scholarship you for the first year. So what does that mean? We will waive your tuition for the class of 2026. You don't pay tuition for the first year because I know what is done in my life and I want that for you too. Yes, you can clap. You need a letter out of my office, the president's office. So Oscar, can you stand, Oscar? So at least the audience can see where you're at. He's got the letter out of my office. The young man with the blue shirt. He's got the letter out of my office, and that guarantees what I just told you. In closing, remember, education is the one thing nobody ever can take away from you. Thank you and congratulations. Director Sismoniak.
Next, we will view a video congratulating our graduates from our online instructor, Nicole Mace.
Well, hey there, I'm Nicole Mace. I'm the online GED instructor, and this message is a special message, shout out if you will, for my online students. These students are outstanding. These online students didn't have a set time to come into a classroom and get their studying done. They had to do all their study time in the in-between moments. In between working a full-time job, raising kids, running a household, taking care of a sick family member. That means they were a ton of early morning and late night study sessions and getting in a little bit more during their lunch break. Most other people would say, look, I'm just too busy to do this goal, but not you. You are not like everyone else. You stuck to the goal with persistence and determination, and you did it. And because you did this, I know that you can do anything that you want. I'm so excited to see what you do next. I'm rooting for you.
Now, for the moment that you guys have been waiting for. The presentation of GED candidates. Please join me in welcoming K-CET faculty, Tyron DeVault.
Congratulations. Jarek Capel. Richard King. Serena Vincent. Preston Gillespie. Isabel Spriggs. Cindy Elliott. Kitana Lopez. Tanner Shotwell. Joseph Heatley. Angelica King. Our next faculty to announce candidates is Nicole Truitt.
It is my pleasure to announce the next group of candidates for the GED credential. Quinn Cunningham. Kevin Riley. Michael Vincent. Summer Sheldon. Sarah Jensen. Jessica Jones Bars. Alexandra Sams. Kayla White. Joshua Leidy. Our next faculty to announce students is Eric Quillen.
It's my pleasure to announce the final group of candidates for the GED. Chantel Brown. Justice Murphy. Zion Ansari. Ofelia Martinez. Scott Chandler. Christine Eastwood. Gabriella Pembley. Conway Lewis. Aiden Goer. Apollo Hutchins. Congratulations to all of you. I'd like to turn the podium back to KCC President, Dr. Roberto Gutierrez, for the closing ceremony.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, we're almost done. Graduates, please stand. we at KCC, we have one final requirement for you, and I know you can do this. Before we can officially say that you have graduated, this doesn't require any more tests, yay, any more lines, any more money, or even a trip to campus. Yet it does require your listening skills. Take your left hand and reach over to your tassel and move your tassel from the right side of your cap to the left side. Yes! So, you're now officially a graduate of Klamath Community College. Congratulations. You may be seated. So, members of the audience, one quick reminder. We ask that all guests in the audience please remain seated until all the platform party, faculty, staff, and you graduates have left, at which time you may join them. Again, congratulations to the class of 2026. I now declare this commencement closed. Thank you.